Welcome to Breaking Ties, a new you after divorce. This is your go-to source for practical advice and support for when the divorce process has finished. Join us each weekday for a quick chat where we'll cover a variety of topics related to post-divorce. Together, we'll explore the emotional, financial, and legal aspects of life after divorce and help you find the best path forward for you and your family. Here's your host and certified divorce financial analyst professional, Mike Fulkerson.
Hello and welcome to Breaking Ties interview series, where we talk with professionals who assist those getting through the divorce process, and we get a lot of great answers to many of the questions you might have. I'm your host, Mike Fulkerson, financial advisor and certified divorce financial analyst professional, and with me today is Margaret Zuliger. Margaret is a collaborative divorce attorney with her own practice. We're going to get it straight from Margaret today. It's going to be fantastic with the information. I want to welcome Margaret to the podcast. How are you, Margaret?
Great. Thank you.
Excellent. Why don't you share a little bit about yourself with our listeners?
Okay. Well, I've been an attorney since 1992. I went to Northwestern Law School. I've been doing family law exclusively since 2008 after I went through my own collaborative divorce. So I know where my clients have been, and I've been on my own practice since 2011. My office is in Arlington Heights, but I cover all the collar counties. Most things are Zoom now anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Yes. And so that's Arlington Heights, Illinois, right around Chicago area is where we're out of. And so Margaret has a ton of experience. So this is going to be a great week of podcasts because we're going to have her every day this week answering 2 or 3 questions each day, and you're going to want to see them all. Now, we're going to start off with the basics a little bit, Margaret, and can you help us with kind of defining what collaborative divorce is?
Yes. Yeah. So collaborative divorce is a non-adversarial method of getting a divorce where both spouses have their own attorneys, and we work through all of the agreements through a series of settlement conferences until we have all of the agreements in writing, and only then do we file in court and finalize.
Oh, all right. Very nice. That's, for a lot of people, I think they think of divorce as being more the traditional litigation route that you often hear all the terrible stories about. Now,
Yes.
When it comes down to the collaborative divorce and using that particular process, how does someone know if it's right for them?
Well, if you and your partner want to have a settlement-only process and promise from the beginning that nobody's going to go to court and file any motion and have the judge decide anything about their life, their money, their children, anything, then collaborative is a good choice for you. But you both parties have to agree that it's settlement only. The attorneys are also sign that same pledge saying this is settlement only. So the attorneys themselves cannot become the litigators in a case. So we can't start a collaborative case and then if things get a little dicey, say, okay, fine, now we're going to the judge. No. Collaborative is settlement only, meaning the attorneys are actually even disqualified from going to litigation. So it keeps us, the attorneys, it keeps our litigation hats off. We don't threaten things. We don't even, we advocate for our clients. And so we tell our clients, what would happen if a judge had to get involved, in our opinion, but we don't threaten and we certainly don't go. It's settlement only. And that doesn't mean it's easy, but just settlement only.
You're right. I don't think any part of the divorce process, no matter which one you're using, has probably ever been titled easy for the most part. So There's always something going on.
Right.
And so we got the collaborative divorce process. Now, what qualifications should we look for in a collaborative lawyer?
Well, somebody who's had the training. In order to be a collaborative attorney in Illinois, you have to take a basic training, we call it, and mediation training, and then keep up with your training. So, join the it's called Collaborative Divorce Illinois, and that's the website. And we have the initial training, then we have ongoing training where we meet for practice groups and we hear from special speakers and we talk about how to always just improve the collaborative option that we're offering people. The collaborative divorce Illinois is actually, so in a collaborative case, you have 2 attorneys at a minimum for each client, but we can also have a mental health professional who acts as a coach. They're involved to help the communication in the meetings and also kind of maybe help with some of the emotional challenges between the meetings. And then we can also have a financial neutral who is either a CPA or a certified divorce financial analyst, and they do all the gathering of the documents, the financial affidavits of parties, presenting marital estate balance sheets, running guideline support to kind of just do all that stuff. We don't need that for every case. We don't need a coach for every case, but every case could have like the full support. If you need the emotional support or the financial support and education, then the full team is really your best option.
Wow. Yeah, that's great. And we're actually going to dive into more of that team structure and figuring out, what pieces, parts someone might need in one of these episodes this week. So we're really going to break it down and find out what's best for everyone out there. So now,
sounds good.
This actually concludes our first day. I mean, goodness, we jump right in. I mean, when we're talking divorce and the process, it's going to move pretty quick and it's going to be pretty detailed. So I want to say you guys got to come back tomorrow and watch the rest of the week of these episodes as we continue our discussion on the collaborative divorce process. And Margaret and I, we'd like to thank you for joining us today on this episode of Breaking Ties, the interview series. Should you have any questions for Margaret, you can find her contact information in the description. Remember, divorce is not the end of your story. It is the start of your next great chapter. And we will see you tomorrow. Take care.